What's up guys, Ace Kami here with some Dokkan Battle news, and I'm going to be doing a bit of a gameplay while I do this as well. But anyway, let's get to the most important thing. We have the 777 days celebration that has just dropped on the Global Dokkan Battle. Now, this comes with a whole heap of cool events, such as the login bonus where you can earn up to a grand total of 77 Dragon Stones, plus the Dragon Stones you can currently farm with the 2 billion download summon sort of event. So that is excellent. Special missions now available. That starts a bit later today. So I'm guessing that's some Elder Cards and some orbs from what I can see in the background, which will be very important for what's coming up. Now, what is also interesting is the arrival of LR Hercule. Now, would I say he's recommended? Not really. I see him as sort of useless. He's not really a useful LR at all. I did end up doing all the stuff for him on my JP account, and he's a pretty crappy LR, so I wouldn't recommend spending your Zenny on him. Save your Zenny up, because there is going to be so many awesome Dokkan Awakenable cards coming. The Hercule World Tournament is something that you do want to farm so you can get these statues, because Zenny does become a problem around this time. With so many cards coming out, such as LRs, such as new things like Super Saiyan 4 and stuff like that, you will have reduced the amount of Zenny you had by quite a fair bit if you got the cards you wanted. So this is an event that helps you, as long as you do it daily, helps you get as much Zenny as you need, and to save up for upcoming events, upcoming cards that are going to be clutch for teams in such things as Boss Rush and new cards to be dropped. Now, I don't do number 5. I do it occasionally if I'm running low on items, but lately I haven't need to train much at all. I have actually got, but the good thing about this is the success rates in training are doubled. So that happening, that means that you don't have to use as many of your gravity chambers and stuff like that to get those higher success rates, which will help save a lot of items in these upcoming drops. The World Tournament is coming out on the 24th of next week. 24th of this month, sorry, which is next week, Thursday. Now, I do not know what cards are going to be released in this tournament. I am going to be doing it because I need to get in the top 10 to finish off my upgrade for my LR Piccolo, who I really want either for my Heroes team or for an Int Gogeta team, just to test him out and have some fun when he finally drops. But that's going to be some fun. But the thing I've been so hyped for that is coming is the Ultimate Transformation, the new SSR Cooler. Now, I have seen him on JP, I have watched Rhymestyles, I have watched Nanogenics' videos, and he's absolutely clutch to get as a card. Now, not only is he good on a extreme physical type team, so if you have people like Broly, there is a couple of other good Fizz cards. I see if I have them actually. If I go into my team list quickly. Oops, sorry, team character list. We're gonna go. I should have some. I can't remember what Fizz cards I have. So if you have the new Omega, he will be amazing. Goku Black along with that. I do not have that Broly. I do want him. If I pull him on, he will possibly be on that event banner anyway. So him, the Cooler, those two are going to be your main staples for that team. There is some others. Sin Shenron is also quite usable because of his links with the Omega Shenron there. And that is all I can really think of the top of my head right now. I will do a full team analysis for a Super Saiyan Cooler team a bit later once he drops or just before he drops. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain his event and some good teams to take through it. One of the teams I would recommend most at the moment, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what he needs to... Sorry. So what he needs to really, the event's not too hard itself. So I've done the event a couple of times on the JP version. Um, it was never too much of a problem in that way. But I think the biggest problem I ever had with the event was that I didn't have any good teams to actually go against him with. I always found him a bit more of a struggle because my team makeup was quite weak per se. But as it is now, I do want to farm certain characters just to get my team ready. So the most recommended team for the for the Cooler event. I keep on saying Kura because I'm thinking Japanese, but the Cooler event is a mono strength team. Now, some of the mono strength teams that I would recommend would be one with a heavy GT link, so people like Super Saiyan Trunks, the Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku, and Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Some of the best link sets. What I'd also chuck on the top of that team, so I'm actually going to have a team that I'm going to run what I would recommend as a strong strength team at the moment, which is my main one. So I have the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, who links well with both the GT Trunks and the GT Super Saiyan 3 Goku, along with a Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta to tank hits. I use the the Super Saiyan Gotenks, just because he's a heavy hitter and he links amazingly with Super Saiyan Gogeta. That will be the team I'll be taking into the event. But a few other teams that can be a possibility is a Heroes team, so a very good Heroes team. If you have these cards, which I do not have one of these cards at the moment, which is the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, would be either if you have the Trunks, Future Trunks. I would not use him as a leader in this just because it's a Fizz event. So for this, I would actually recommend Super Saiyan Blue Vegito because he gives you free key and 50% on attack, HP, and defense. I would then add a Super Saiyan 4 Goku in there, along with the new Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta, because of his counters. His counters are absolutely amazing. What else I would be putting in that team is a couple more strength units. So I would be adding my Super Saiyan Gogeta, just because he's a heavy hitter and he does affect all types. So he is useful in all the stages against even Sauza, who's an AGL type, and Naze and Dore are just really easy to take out anyway. And that agility cooler is going to be a problem if you are using a strength team, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem as long as you run that Gogeta, or if your Goku Super Saiyan 4 has high crits, just because of the damage output. Now, the thing I am probably most excited about with this team is that it's leader with the extreme teams for quite a while now. We've got to play around with them, we've got to see which one, and we've got to enjoyed. So probably going to recommend for event the most of all is if hero team. Also put on that hero team would be Super Saiyan Vegito. So reliable to have as a character because of his amazing counter ability, takes very little damage, and he can have quite a high damage output depending on his potential system, how much you've put into his orbs and stuff like that. So that is who I will be using instead of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And even if I did have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, I would still most likely use my Super Vegito because he is quite high in the potential orb system. And I could just replace him with someone like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta if I want to have another tank, if I wasn't going to use him. Now, in saying that, this event, will admit, was quite easy every time I have done it. I even ran through with a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta team on my JP, which I can do a bit of an example of later. I'll just have to get my JP account back up, and I will do a run through of what that event looks like with said team. Now, my JP is not optimal. What I'd be using, let's say, the exact same as what I'd be using on Global if I could, but it's still the best I can do on JP at the moment. But I will also be doing and explaining why Cooler is so good. Now, Cooler is amazing. One, because of his high damage output, his double attack like Omega Shenron. So him and Omega Shenron, if they get off supers along with Broly, it'll just be like a super attack fest. Chucking around super attacks, 6 super attacks per round. You are going to get through most events with very little trouble at all. The event that this really sets you up for later, though, I have found, is the Gogeta event. Especially for Global, it is going to be so much easier to do that int event now, because now that you have 3 amazingly strong physical cards, even though they're on the extreme team, they will do immense damage to Vegeta and make the event just a piece of cake. I will say that this is going to be so hype. I'm going to be doing so many summons because I really want this card. The team, I'll just do a quick Heroes team actually for you. So the team I'll be using for Heroes, I am going to swap out that Int Vegeta. The Int Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, is really good. He's actually quite clutch. But I would not be using him for said team. Who I'd prefer to use, if I can find him, would be even my Gotenks, my physical Gotenks for sealing, which, yes and no. The reason he would be good for sealing is for people like Vegito and Vegito Blue. But with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in there, you have a high counter rate, and you sort of don't want to take that away because of the damage that does. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is amazing with his counters, along with Super Saiyan 4 Goku when he gets them off. So who I would prefer to use I might even chuck a Super Saiyan 3 Goku, because he gives that attack boost to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which makes it just a bit easier to take out that final Phy Cooler that much quicker, and less items and less damage taken. Another one who's a good tank would be the Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta to get through the first 3 levels, which has 2 free agility types, which is 2 of the Souzers and a Cooler. And once you get through that, the Fizz part is just an easy run through, as long as you're using that strength team. If you're using that mono strength team, even the Heroes team. Anyway, guys, that is the main hype from this current meta that is being released. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you have found this actually helpful and that I've explained it good enough. If you have, this is also one last thing before I do end this video. The stones you are getting now, do not spend it on the AGL banner. Even if you want the Majin Vegeta, wait for later, because his rates are very bad. I would save them up for this Phy Cooler event, because he is going to be a very useful card later down the track for you. Anyway, that is all for this video. I hope you have enjoyed, and if you have, please subscribe, leave a like, and comment on your thoughts. Peace.